All right, let's just jump right in. We're about to dig into the very foundation of what we think is true, and we're going to unpack a method for thinking with, honestly, incredible clarity. And it all kicks off with one simple but really profound question. I mean, really think about that for a second. Your existence wasn't your choice. You were just here. It was this starting point for everything that you didn't consent to. And believe me, that's just the tip of the iceberg. You know that old saying, you can't choose your family? Well, the list is so much longer than that. Your name, the culture you grew up in, the religion you were born into, all the customs you follow. None of it was your call. These massive pillars of your identity were just assigned to you. So what that really means is we all start life with a kind of pre-installed software, a whole set of values and beliefs that were loaded onto our hard drive long before we could even think for ourselves. And this is the crucial part. Just because a belief was handed down to you, that doesn't automatically make it right or smart or even a good fit for you. In a very real way, these foundational beliefs, they might not even be yours to begin with. So how does all this preloading affect how we see the world? Well, it's huge. It essentially creates the very lens we see everything through, shaping our reality from day one. This brings us to a concept from the source material called the blank slate. And yeah, it's pretty ironic, right? Because the slate is anything but blank. It comes pre-scribbled on by our family, our culture, filled with all these ideas we're told are sacred, things you just don't question. And this example, wow, it really drives the point home. In a conflict this complex, which side you're on is almost always determined by where you were born. Your identity pretty much becomes your uniform. It's not an objective choice you made, it's an inherited position. Just let that sink in for a minute. If the circumstances of your birth had been just a little different, your most deeply held convictions, the things you'd argue passionately about, could be the exact opposite. Your truths, in many ways, are just an accident of geography. Okay, so if we're all starting out with a biased slate, what can we even do about it? Well, the answer is in a completely new way of thinking, a philosophy for wiping that slate clean. The first step is to really take this principle to heart. We have to stop just blindly accepting the answers we were given. We need to start asking our own questions about every single thing we believe to be true. And the source material offers a solution for this, a concept it calls Entertainism. Basically, it's a framework for thinking that strips away all the emotion, all the opinion, and focuses only on what is a verifiable, objective fact. It's all about finding clarity by being neutral. This is a perfect way to think about it. Imagine a spreadsheet program. It doesn't care if the person using it is Mother Teresa or Hitler. If you ask it what is 2 plus 2, the answer is always 4. The fact is totally independent of anyone's morals or feelings. Okay, so that's the big idea. But how do we actually do this in the real world? Let's break down some practical steps for making this factual mindset a part of our everyday lives. So imagine you're arguing with a friend about whether an Apple or Samsung tablet is better. The word better is totally subjective. It's an opinion. But what if you define the criteria first? Let's say screen size or processor speed. All of a sudden, the argument just disappears. You just look at the specs, the facts give you the answer, no opinions needed. This is such a powerful shift in how you communicate. Instead of saying a speech was horrible, you state exactly what was said. You quote them. Instead of saying someone took too much time, you just state, she took 45 minutes. You're swapping out subjective judgment for objective description. And here's why this works so incredibly well. When you present just the facts, you're not telling people what to think. You're giving them the raw data, and you're letting them form their own conclusion. It gets them to think for themselves, which makes your point land with way more impact. So what's the ultimate goal here? It's not just about winning arguments or thinking more clearly for yourself. It's actually about something much, much bigger. It's about finding common ground. I mean, think about it. Our subjective realities are what create conflict. My idea of good is your idea of bad. My truth is your lie. These opinions, these feelings and beliefs, they are the source of our deepest divisions. But facts are universal. An apple is an apple. That fact doesn't change whether you're in Tokyo or Toronto, whether you're a Christian or a Buddhist. Facts are the shared reality. They're the bridge that can connect any cultural divide.
And that leads us to the central idea of this whole explainer. It's a simple thought, but it's a profound one. If we want to find unity, we have to ground our conversations in the shared language of objective fact.
Now, let's be real. This is not easy. Questioning the values you've held your entire life can be deeply, deeply uncomfortable. You might even discover that you've been wrong about some very big things. But that discomfort, that's the price you pay for genuine personal growth. So I'll leave you with this last question to think about. What's the one thing you believe about politics, religion, your family, or even yourself that you've just accepted without ever really questioning it? And what might you discover if you finally dared to ask why?